Hey everybody, Flip and Danny here, founders of the Freedom Real Estate Group family of companies, and welcome to another episode of our podcast, which is called
Freedom Through Passive Income.
That's right, it's right there.
Right on my shirt.
That's right. and welcome to our special week. This is Freedom Week. Freedom! There we go. And this is, and you're going to explain why this in a second. Yeah. But anyway, this episode of Freedom Week is real estate investing skills and lessons learned.
Yeah. So as a reminder, July 1st, we hit halfway through the 365-day podcast series that we started this year.
Yay.
And so we're celebrating by doing Freedom Week. So starting on July 4th, we started Freedom Week, and we did 5 episodes where we're looking back through the year to see the topics that are common themes that people can kind of dig into. So right. Ben is the one that has emailed us, quite a few times saying, how do I binge on these episodes? And it's hard because, every single week or two, we're coming up with new scripts, and they're usually very relevant about where we're at in our investing journey, what's going on in our business, things like that. So if you want to learn about money, you got to look through all the titles and find all the episodes about money. So the idea here is to be able to talk today about real estate investing skills and lessons learned. And during this podcast, we're going to pick like 5-10 episodes. Some of them had a few more. And we're going to put those episodes and links into the podcast description or the YouTube description. And that way it's really easy for you to go back and dig and dive deep into things that you might want to learn more about. So that's the idea of it. And I'm super excited that we're over halfway through.
I know. And you talked about all the scripts, I'm exhausted from writing so many scripts.
Oh, stop it. You're exhausted from trying to read my handwriting. Well, that's what you...
You hit that nail on the head.
And it's July, so it's birthday month.
That's right. Every day is a fun shirt. Okay, well, especially on Friday, but now every day of the month of July, you're getting a fun shirt.
Yep. And for Freedom Week, he chose to wear hats every single day.
Yep. Well, I missed a couple of days wearing a hat, but this is my Invest Smart, Live Happy hat.
That's right, because we're wearing our swag.
That's right.
I love it. So for real estate investing skills and lessons learned, kind of just the brief overview before we get into the podcast episodes that we're going to direct you to, is that it really depends on the type of investing you're going into, right? So if you're wholesaling, it's a different set of skills than it is for flipping versus passive syndication and investing versus passive private money lending, right? So first, are you active or are you passive? And then depending on what you choose there, and it could be both, what avenue did you take? And if you are in multiple avenues, you need multiple skills, right? And there's always the lessons learned that increase your skill set.
Right.
So we're going to go ahead and talk about some of the episodes that we, hit on these types of things. And Flip, do you have anything else that you want to add before you jump into them?
No.
Okay. The first 3 I just bundled for you.
That's right, because there's parts 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, that's right.
Yep. So episodes number 32, 33, and then episode number 80.
Yes.
And then this is how to create generational wealth.
Yeah, very, very powerful episodes. A topic that is requested a ton. So if you want to learn about generational wealth, dive into those 3 episodes, and that's why I grouped them together there.
Love it.
Episode 36, we talked about self-directed IRA, how to use retirement accounts to invest in real estate. And that's another series we're getting ready to do soon. So if you love investing with your retirement accounts, it is a very powerful way to build wealth. We're going to go through a series of podcasts with Ben Catt, who's just gone through an entire process of having to move his money around. So he's going to be teaching you some of what he's done. And Flip and I have recently been re-strategizing our entire financial money game with regard to how to take advantage of certain tax advantage accounts. So you're going to be hearing a lot more about this in the future. So we'll probably do another kind of group episode that says, here's all of your retirement account episodes. But
so grab some popcorn.
That's right.
Episode number 38, cap rates and how to calculate them.
Yep, that's a good one. Episode 43, classes of properties in real estate and which one is best.
Episode number 45, single family housing versus multifamily housing.
Yeah. Episode 52, cash on cash returns and why people use them to evaluate properties.
Episode number 57, 6 rookie mistakes.
Episode 66, 7 ways to evaluate investment options.
Episode number 96, consistency plus boring equals wealth.
Yes, and episode 107, a K1 lesson learned.
And then episode number 134, how do we find deals?
Yes. When we talk about acquisitions and deals, those tend to be like, they hit on. We obviously have a lot of active investors who listen too, because they're like, how are you doing all this stuff? And here I'm thinking we're only talking to passive investors, because that's what I'm so super passionate about these days. But yeah, so that's a good set of videos for you guys to dig into, and we hope you enjoy them.
Absolutely. Well, again, make sure you head on over to our website, freedomcapitalinvestments.com, to join our investor club and also to get the swag.
Yes.
There you go. But again, make sure you head on over there. That way you can find out what deals we're doing and what we're talking about in there. We've got our groups on Facebook and LinkedIn. Haven't talked about those in a while. So make sure you go on over to those groups to chat with the gang over there. But again, 5-star reviews or whatever, and bells and whistles and hearts and likes. But we like to end all of these episodes with
invest smart,
live happy.
Bye everybody.
Nothing on this show should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for individualized advice. Opinions and information on this show are not guaranteed. All investment strategies have the potential for profit or loss.